Hi, welcome to our Worship Tribe monthly encouragements. I am so thrilled to have my friend Aaron Keys with me today. And
too.
we have had a great time at our Irish worship leaders retreat. We've had so much fun and we've been so blessed by Aaron's teaching. And so I thought it would be great if we just were able to share a couple of those gems from you, Aaron, with the rest of our worship leaders that couldn't make it to Ireland. So one of the things that you talked about was identity. And would you share some of your heart for worship leaders to discover their true identity and what happens when we do live from that place of our true identity?
Totally. I think about, we didn't talk about this the other night, but the story where Israel is camped out and the Philistines are camped out on the other side of this valley. And do you remember the story where Goliath comes out for 40 days and taunts them and says, "You guys are the armies of Saul. I'm going to lick your bones and eat, I'm going to destroy you." 40 days he comes out, day and night. It says twice a day. So 80 times Israelites hear this guy say, "You're the armies of Saul. I'm going to do this." And then, what happens? David shows up. He's not in the army. He's too young. He's just bringing his brothers some food. He hears this guy, Goliath, come out and go, "You're the armies of Saul." And he goes, "How dare you defy the armies of the living God?" So, if you see yourself as the armies of Saul, Goliath is a problem. If you know that you're the armies of the living God, Goliath is no problem. The way the advertising works is if you keep hitting someone with the same message, they'll believe it, So I have to have the newest iPhone. I have to have it. Because my old one, which was perfectly fine last week, is no longer perfectly fine. Because their advertising just keeps hitting me. And I eventually start to think, oh yeah, this one's no good. I need that. The enemy's the same way. He hits us day and night with the same lies. You're just this, you're just that, you've always been this, you'll always be that, and we can't help it. We just believe what we're bombarded with. And the problem is, it's easier to believe Satan than believe God about who we are. Because, yeah, we have screwed up. Yeah, we aren't good enough. Yeah, we have blown it. But that's not what God sees when he sees us. That's not what I see when I see my kids. I mean, if my kids do the stupidest thing ever, and then they come to me and they say, "I'm sorry," I'm not like, "You're such an idiot. How dare you?" I wrap them up. And I'm not even perfect. I'm far from it. So Jesus is always telling us, you've got a perfect Father in heaven. If you ask for bread, he's not going to give you a stone. So speaking of bread and stones, Jesus hears from his Father, "You are my son. I love you. I'm proud of you." And then Jesus goes out into the desert. And for 40 days, he's tempted too. Just like Israel, 40 days, tempted and tried. But Jesus overcomes that. Jesus knew he was the Son. And the enemy would start with those temptations and say, "If you are the Son, do this. If you are the Son, do that." And so I think it's so important. And what we talked about this weekend was we've got to listen to what the Lord says we are and stop living out of the lies that the world has told us that we are, or that the enemy has told us that we are, or that some teacher when we were 7 told us that we are. It's so important that we know what God says that we are and that we live out of that, because John 10, Jesus, the good shepherd, he says, the sheep hear my voice, I call them by name, and I lead them out. So call them by name is that's a destiny thing. And then lead them out, call them by name is an identity thing. Lead them out is a destiny thing. And we all want to know the destiny thing without getting the identity thing. We don't know what God's called us to do because we don't know what God calls us. We need to know what he calls us. And, the longer that you love someone, the more names you have for them. So I have names for my wife that nobody else gets to call her. She calls me things that she doesn't call anyone else. And even I think that's true with the Lord too. The longer that we walk with him, the more we learn about him and the more we learn that he sees in us. So whether it's a cute little nickname or it's a profound changing of a name, like you see all the way through the Bible where God changes people's names, we need to ask God, who have I believed that I am that I'm not? What lies have I believed? And then what do you say that I am? And can you help me to receive that and to live out of that? Because it's easier to live into his blessing than to live under some lie. If the truth sets you free, then lies bind you. And so this is just a simple exercise saying, God, show me the lies that have bound me and show me the truth that releases me.
Wow, that's great. So, would you take some time this week and take those questions away? We spent 15 minutes, didn't we, with that
Hmm.
first question, just reflecting on our own with the Lord. And then we came together in a group and we shared the lies that we've been believing, and then also, who does God say that I am? And it was a really powerful time. So you could do that with some of your friends, with your pastor, with your spouse. It will be a very fruitful exercise. I love how you said that it doesn't take faith to believe what the enemy says about us, but it takes faith to believe what God says about us. So that is my prayer for us as worship leaders, that we will grow in our understanding of how God sees us, and that we would hear Him call us by our true name. Bless you guys. Thank you for all that you do.